Well, why don't we go ahead and get it started? I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order and request the clerk read the COVID-19 and public comment procedures and the Metro Cable 14 replay statement.
Good afternoon. In compliance with the directives of the County, State, and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, this meeting is live streamed and closed to in-person public participation. Temporary procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person contact. To make a verbal comment at today's meeting, please dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed in the queue for a specific agenda item or an off-agenda matter. When the chair opens public comment for a specific agenda item or an off-agenda matter, callers will be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make a verbal comment. Written comments are always accepted. Please send your email comment to boardclerk@saccounty.net. Your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record. This meeting of the Sacramento Metro Cable Television Commission is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and the AT&T U-verse cable systems. The live meeting can also be heard free on KUBU Radio 96.5 FM. The meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.net and will replay on Sunday, March 7th at 9 a.m. and Monday, March 8th at 9 a.m. on Metro Cable 14. This meeting can also be viewed on Metro Cable's 14's YouTube channel. That concludes your announcements.
Excellent. Can you please call the roll?
Absolutely. Directors Nava.
Sorry, I'm here.
Riley.
Here.
McCarthy Olmsted.
Here.
Hedges.
Here.
Natoli. Schaefer.
Here.
Spees.
Present.
Ooh, please forgive me. Charla.
Here. Thank you.
Thank you. Gatewood. Parasit.
Here.
Polomu.
Here.
And Katharina Now. Okay, thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you please read our first item into the record?
Your first item is your conference with legal counsel, and you're going to adjourn to closed session.
Excellent. And I don't know that I got a direct number for that.
So 2 meeting invites were sent out. They should be on your calendar. One for the closed session started just maybe 15 minutes after this one, but you should be able to log out of this meeting and log into that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can that be resent to everybody just in case? Because I don't see it on my calendar.
Sure. Let me see if I can do that quick.
Matt, the second item says introduction of new board members and alternates before item number 1. Do you want to go through that?
Yes, actually, thanks. Thank you, YK. So before we adjourn to closed session, I just want to welcome, and I'm not sure if everybody's here, but wanted to welcome Vanessa McCarthy Olmsted, who is a board alternate for Supervisor Rich Desmond, Councilmember Tim Schaefer, who's from Citrus Heights, Councilmember Stephanie Wynn, board alternate. Actually, I think we have Kevin Spees here, but board alternate for Councilmember Kevin Spees in Elk Grove. Councilmember YK Chalan-Sherla from Folsom. Michelle Paraset, board alternate for Sacramento Councilmember Katie Valenzuela. And Catherine New, board alternate for Sacramento Councilmember Mai Bang. So we'll go ahead and adjourn to closed session. And Bob, if you could resend that out, that'd be fantastic.
So I just sent it.
Yep, and I got it.
Bob, this is Don Natoli, so I recall the number?
Sure.
Okay.
So Supervisor Natoli, it was on your calendar, but I just sent it again. So there's 2 links, and if you log out of this link and log into the other link, you will join the closed session.
Okay, I'll call the conference. I'm calling in by phone, so I'll do that. Thanks, Bob. Okay,
That
thanks.
works too.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
thanks,
We'll now adjourn to closed session. Thank you.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and reconvene the regular meeting after the, and we do not have any action to report out. So let's go ahead and move to item number 2. Clerk, can you please read that item into the record?
Absolutely. Item number 2 is your resolution number 2021-001, adopting the mid-year general fund and PEG fee fund budget adjustments for fiscal year 2020-21.
Great, and I'll hand this over to Bob to provide an overview of the adjustments.
Sure. Good afternoon. I'm Bob Davison, the Executive Director, and I have a short presentation on this item. During recent discussions with legal counsel related to the current litigation, as well as there's other efforts going forward that legal counsel is helping with us, including the updated cafeteria plan, which is on today's agenda. They're also helping us with our personnel issues. Anyway, in reviewing the costs, the legal costs due to all of these things going on at the same time, especially with potential litigation going to trial, has resulted in expending more on counsel costs than anticipated in the budget. So we're proposing a budget adjustment that would increase the legal counsel budget by $150,000, and are proposing to fund that with a reduction in the audit adjustment amount, which was an amount that was there in case that there were audit adjustments that would hit the commission financially. With the current audit on today's agenda, we know of actually no such adjustment. So I would we're recommending that adjustment. And then on the PEG fund, Regional Transit is constructing a control room, and the PEG budget for this year included an amount for that control room. We actually have a new technical coordinator, Kevin Benyon, and he's been working with Regional Transit, and they've been reviewing the technical items that are required to implement that control room. And basically, they have found that certain items, there's a captioning recorder that will work better, and that there's some standalone graphic hardware which was not concluded, and is going to improve the product with Regional Transit. So after those discussions, and also given that we're in the pandemic and Regional Transit would like to get this control room up to speed for when the pandemic is over, both Commission and Regional Transit are recommending that we do the mid-year budget adjustment rather than waiting to increase the cost of that project with the June budget. So for that, in the PEG Fund 94B, we are recommending an addition of $30,961 to the Regional Transit project, and to fund that with a reduction in the contingency appropriation. So with that, it's recommended you adopt the resolution, which is adopting the mid-year budget adjustment to the general fund and to the PEG fund for fiscal year 2021. And I can certainly answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. Well, before we do board deliberation, I'll go ahead and go to public comment on this item. Since in-person attendance is not permitted, comments submitted by the public will be read into the record, and members of the public will be given the opportunity to phone on or make verbal comments during the meeting. Clerk, do we have any written statements received on this item?
No, we don't, Mr. Vice Chair.
Is there anybody called in to speak?
No, we don't, not on this item.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and close the public comment, and we can go ahead and move to board deliberation. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to approve resolution number 2021-001, adopting the mid-year fiscal year general fund and PEG fee fund budget adjustments for fiscal year 2020-2021 to include Exhibit A and Attachment 1, the Regional Transit revised fiscal year 2020-2021 PEG fee funding agreement. And if you make a motion, please state your name, since I can't see everybody here.
Moved by Natoli.
Second by Spies.
Speaks.
We have a motion by Commissioner Natoli and seconded by Commissioner Spies. Clerk, can you take the roll for the
Absolutely.
members' vote?
Absolutely. Directors Nava,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Natoli,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Spees,
Aye.
Comachera,
Yes.
Gatewood, Parasit,
Yes.
Polo Mu,
Yes.
and New.
Yes.
Thank you. Your motion passes.
Thank you. Moving to item number 3. Clerk, can you please read that item into the record?
Your item number 3 is a resolution number 2021-002, approving the amended and restated Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Cafeteria Plan.
Good afternoon, Bob Davison again. This is one of the items that I pointed out that we had increased legal cost for, and Best and Krieger, who provides legal counsel for us, we're used to working with Harriet Steiner. We worked with one of Harriet's partners, Isabel Safi, in helping and prepare this updated cafeteria plan. And she may be available on the phone. I want to check to see if Isabel Safi is on the line.
Yes, I am, Bob.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Isabel. So, Isabel, I was going to do a short presentation and then turn it over to you if you had any other comments that you wanted to make. Okay? And then Isabel will also be here to answer any questions that the board may have. So, a little bit of history. The commission previously adopted a cafeteria plan for its employees. The cafeteria plan goes back to the 1980s. And I know that when I first started in 2006 as executive director, the subsidy amount that would go for health insurance was very low. But the way the cafeteria plan worked was that there was one stipend, and that stipend would be used for health insurance, and alternatively, if employees didn't use the stipend for medical insurance, it allowed that to happen. It could be used for other insurance, but there were no other benefits like dental, vision, and life insurance and such. So anyway, one of the things that was done in about 2008 or so is that the stipend for the cafeteria plan to be used for health benefits was tied to 80% of the Kaiser family premium. So at that time, if you were using the family Kaiser plan, then the commission stipend covered 80% of that. And if you were single or elected health insurance elsewhere, then you got the stipend less the amount that was paid, or in the case if you chose insurance elsewhere, the whole stipend, and then that was available for use for other benefits. So that change was made in about 2008. And then since then, I don't remember the exact year, but we added dental benefits to a portion of the cafeteria plan that would be 100% covered by the commission. So we actually signed on to the County of Sacramento's dental plan, and the commission board approved that, basically having that benefit available for commission employees. So currently, the flex dollars for the health portion of the cafeteria plan, the amount is $846 semi-monthly, or $1,692 monthly. Now, under the current plan, again, the employees that don't use the entire amount receive the cash back as a difference. For example, there are 4 employees that are on the Kaiser single employee medical plan, which results in cash back of $439 semi-monthly for each employee, or $878 monthly. So within the last several years, it was brought to staff's attention that the current cafeteria plan for the commission was not compliant with federal law and Internal Revenue Service regulations, and that it basically, if scrutinized, could not be deemed a bona fide plan under the IRS code. And the ramifications of this is that if investigated and found to be not a bona fide plan, was that the entire benefit could be deemed taxable. So with that, we knew that we needed to look at some sort of changes to this cafeteria plan. So ultimately, we requested help in this regard, and then legal counsel, who again is here today, amended the existing cafeteria plan for us to help deliver a cafeteria plan that complies with current laws. Now, the big issue that needed to be resolved was that in order to be compliant, the cash out to employees divided by the total cost of benefits needed to be less than 20%. And when we applied that calculation to the current medical benefit, it was well over 20%. So we had to work with counsel to come up with a solution to that. After running several scenarios, staff is recommending the amended and restated cafeteria plan that's before you today, and it does include capping at $275 the semi-monthly stipend. The cash back. The cash back that's provided to employees that do not use the Kaiser family plan. So with that, staff further proposes that this change become effective January 1st, 2022. This would be when, after the open enrollment period for benefits this October, and it's when the open enrollment benefits would be effective for 2022. Then the only other thing I want to talk about is that this recommendation today, we realize it is a cost to employees, and we did meet with our employees and discuss it and explain this. We've been reviewing this for some time, so I think we knew that this likely was a potential possibility, and we certainly did let employees know, new employees that hired on, and some of our existing employees. One thing, though, that we did like to do in reviewing our benefits and comparing them to other organizations, there are certain benefits that we don't have that other organizations do. And so we're also recommending that the cafeteria plan include on the 100% payment portion by the commission that vision, life insurance, and EAP insurance be added to the benefit package, where, like I said, where the commission pays 100%. And we did reach out to our insurance provider, our risk management insurance provider, GSRMA, and they can provide vision, life, and EAP benefits for the commission. So it's part of the recommendation today is that we approve, that the board approve the amended and restated cafeteria plan, and that commission staff reports back in June with an item to implement vision, life insurance, and employee assistance program benefits for eligible commission employees. And with that, that's the end of my presentation, and myself or Isabel Safi are certainly here to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, if there's no questions, then we'll move on to public comment. I'd like to now open the public comment period. Clerk, do we have any statements received?
No, not for item 3.
And do we have any callers who called in?
Not for item 3, no, sir.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment and move to board deliberation. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to adopt resolution number 2021-002, approving the amended and restated SMCTC cafeteria plan, and direct staff to return at the June 3, 2021 annual budget meeting with an item to implement vision, life insurance, and EAP benefits for eligible commission employees. Would anybody like to make that motion?
Director Schaefer, I'll make the motion.
Natoli, second.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Schaefer, seconded by Commissioner Natoli. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Yes. Yes. Nava?
Sorry. Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Natoli?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Spees?
Yes.
Comachera?
Yes.
Gatewood? Paraset?
Yes.
Polomu?
Yes.
And New.
Yes.
Thank you. Your motion passes.
Thank you. Moving to item number 4. Clerk, can you please read that item into the record?
Yes, your item number 4 is your BestNet Memorandum of Understanding Status Report.
Okay, good afternoon again, Bob Davison. I do want to check if Commission Counsel Harriet Steiner was able to sign in. Is she on?
She is.
Okay, that's perfect. She may want to chime in on this item after I'm done, but I just wanted to check. This is a receive and file item, and it's a status report of the BestNet MOU that we've talked to the Commission about before. I think we indicated that there would be a 3-party agreement between Comcast, the Sacramento Education Cable Consortium, and the Commission. And just as most people on this board know, and I know we have a few new board members, but BestNet is the iNet that uses a dark fiber system that provides a robust broadband connectivity to Sacramento area schools. It was a partnership between the Commission, SECC, and SAC schools and Comcast. This is a real, it's been a real great project for the Commission and for Comcast and SECC. The benefits have been enormous, supporting broadband for education throughout most of Sacramento. And like I said, this board has been working on this and providing significant dollars to expanding this resource for schools. Now, we have recently reported to the board that this agreement was being worked on to extend BestNet beyond 2023. And when I say extend, we're not continuing to fund expanding new hookups for BestNet. In fact, new schools that come in now are going through the E-rate process. But this network is significant, and one thing that happened when the discussion of this agreement to extend and maintain BestNet beyond 2023, at first it seemed to Commission staff and SECC that maybe Comcast's opinion was that that BestNet would not continue for the schools beyond that. Well, I think since then, and since that alarming communication, it seems like there's been a lot of good work, especially between SECC and Comcast. Previously, it was envisioned. This previously envisioned agreement now is a 2-party agreement because there's really no role for the Commission. There's no monetary obligation or other obligation for the continuation of and the maintenance of BestNet beyond 2023. But Comcast and SECC have been working together and they're coming close on deal points, and they are coming close to entering into agreement. So the terms of this agreement, as we know them today, like I said, it's not entered into yet, it's a 10-year extension. So beyond 2023, it would extend 10 years beyond that, but also with the option for 5 one-year extensions that would pretty much take the maintenance of BestNet to 2038. SECC will pay a maintenance charge, and the schools will pay a per connection maintenance fee. SECC plans to prepay the first 10 years. Funds will come to pay for this maintenance will come from the construction contingency that is left over from the BestNet project. There was a construction contingency that was part of the money that was utilized from the commission and from schools. And the SECC still has that money in stewardship for BestNet. It can only be used on BestNet purposes, and they one of the uses they plan to is to use it for the ongoing maintenance of BestNet. So with that, this is a receive and file item, and certainly myself, or if Harriet Steiner is on the line, can answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, does anybody have any? No? Then hearing none, then we'll go ahead and open the public comment opportunity. Clerk, do we have any statements or callers on this item?
Yes, we do. We have a caller, Liz Rhodes, on the line in case the board has any questions. She's from SCC. And I will have her transferred if the board has any, if anyone has any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, then we'll go ahead and close public comment. And this is just a receive and file. So we'll go ahead and move. Is there any final comments for any board members? And seeing none, we'll go ahead and receive and file the BestNet MOU status report. And move on to item number 5. Clerk, please read that into the roll.
Your item number 5 is resolution number 2021-003, honoring Gary Martin upon the occasion of his retirement.
Good afternoon again. So this item is to honor Gary Martin on the occasion of his retirement. He's certainly been for the last 7 years, Gary has been a steward for 2 of the Commission's PEG channels, that 17 and 18, that Access Sacramento provides the programming for. So with that, he's been a great partner to the Commission, and this resolution is honoring Mr. Martin upon the occasion of his retirement. Typically in normal times, we would bring Gary down to the dais, and we'd have the chair or one of the board members, go and read the resolution. I think, given the pandemic, we can't do that, but I think I'll just point out some of the highlights of this resolution, and certainly open up to board members to, pipe in regards to if they want to say any well wishes to Gary. So, like I said, he's been executive director for Access Sacramento for more than 7 years. He's been responsible for programming and managing Channel 17 and 18, the Commission's channels, which has offered a unique entertainment, challenging points of view, varied religious beliefs, diverse political opinions, and cultural languages as alternatives to what is shown on most commercial channels these days. As executive director, he's managed a $650,000 annual budget, a staff of 750 volunteers, serving all of Sacramento County and the public access facility, inviting public involvement in the production and cable distribution of more than 500 videos annually. Mr. Martin was instrumental in enhancing the radio station KUBU, giving a voice to the community's diverse political opinions, thoughts, and the broadcasting of Board of Supervisors and City Council meetings of some of the Commission member agencies. He was also instrumental in acquiring funding for a high-definition truck for which vastly improved the quality of televised local high school football games, hometown TV events, and other programming to cable cast on Access Sacramento's PEG channels. He's also been a champion of the Columbus TV studio and classrooms at Access Sacramento to allow the community to take classes on creating programs, learning how to use the video equipment, and to participate with group production efforts. It's been a real resource for the Sacramento area. He's also led efforts each year in providing the place called Sacramento Film Festival that serves as a fundraiser and showcases Sacramento area writers, directors, producers, actors, and crews, and the amazing talents of filmmakers in the Sacramento region. Mr. Martin also has been an active member in the Alliance for Community Media. With that, Mr. Martin has continually worked to improve communication in the Sacramento community one voice at a time. And with that, I recommend that you approve the resolution today honoring Mr. Martin on the occasion of his retirement.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and ask if there's any comments, but before doing so, I just want to take a brief moment to say that Gary will be tremendously missed by myself. I know that I always very much look forward to his reports. His passion just exuded from him. You could tell that he thoroughly loved what he was doing, and the community loved him for it. Just a dynamo in his role, and we're very sad to lose him. And hopefully we can get a replacement for him that can fill those shoes in at least some partial manner, because there's certainly no way to live up to exactly what he provided, and so he'll be definitely missed by myself.
Matt, this is Sarah. I wanted to just say a few words for Gary as well, on my behalf, but also on Councilmember Eric Guerra's behalf. We really have enjoyed working with Gary. He's done such a great job in the terms of getting Access back and public access TV out to the Sacramento County's communities. I've very much enjoyed working alongside him in many different capacities, and he will very much be missed.
Yeah.
Matt, this is Don Natoli. I would just echo what you and Sarah have said, and certainly have had a chance to know and work with Gary over many years, even before he came to Access, and he's certainly been a great champion for local programming and for improving that, and everything from the radio station to, as Bob read in the record, the new truck with its capabilities. But there's been a real presence in the community and working with certainly, government officials and public agencies, but certainly bringing a wide variety of programming to the viewers and to people of all ages. So I want to congratulate him on his work and certainly his leadership, and wish him well in his retirement.
Yeah, this is YK Chalamcharla. I was just reading through what Bob was talking about, Gary. This is my first meeting on this commission, but still listening to all the great work you have done, Gary. Wow. Thank you, sir, for all your service. And since it is your retirement, enjoy your retirement life. And we'll see you maybe after COVID one of these days and shake hand. And thank you for all your great work for our community. I'm the council member from Folsom City.
Excellent. Well, hearing no additional comments, Clerk, I'll go ahead and open the public comment opportunity. Are there any statements or callers on this item?
No, not for this item.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment, and I'll make a final ask. Is there any additional comments by any commission members? Hearing none, then I'll ask for a motion to approve resolution number 2021-003, honoring Gary Martin upon the occasion of his retirement, to include the amendment of his retirement from March 2021 to April 2021. And I'll seek a motion.
This is Schaefer. I move to accept the motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Schaefer.
I second it. This is Sarah.
We have a second by Commissioner Paulo. Clerk, can you please take roll?
Absolutely. Directors Nava?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted? Hedges?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Hedges, yes.
Yes. Natoli?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Yes.
Spees?
Aye.
Comachera?
Yes.
Gatewood? Parasit?
Here. Yes.
Polo Mu?
Yes.
And New. She left. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Your motion passes.
Thank you. Let's move on to item number 6. Clerk, can you please read this into the record?
Your item number 6 is Conflict of Interest Code, designated positions for calendar year 2021.
And this item simply updates Exhibit A to the Conflict of Interest Code for all the, it updates the list of designated positions for the commission. So it's up to date with the current makeup of the commission's board, and that's the only change. So with that, I would recommend that the board adopt the calendar year 2021 list of designated positions for the 2021 related to the SMCTC Conflict of Interest Code.
Great. Are there any comments from any board members? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and open up the public comment. Clerk, do we have any statements received or callers on this?
No, we do not.
Okay, then I'll close public comment. And I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to approve the designated positions for CY 2021 related to the Cable Commission's Conflict of Interest Code and delegate authority to the Executive Director to make changes to the list as needed in the future.
So moved, Spies.
Second,
I
Riley.
second Schaefer.
Schaefer, you're a little louder, so I'm going with you. We have a motion by Commissioner Spies and a second by Commissioner Schaefer. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Yes, and it also includes the, we're amending Polo's name to Sarah Polo Mu.
And congratulations for that.
So, Nava?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Natoli?
Aye.
Schaefer? Spies?
Aye.
Comachera?
Yes.
Gatewood? Parasit?
Yes.
Polo Mu?
Yes.
And New. Thank you. Your motion passes.
Thank you. Let's go to item number 7. Clerk, can you read that into the record?
Your item number 7 is your audited financial statements and other reports for the fiscal years ended June 30th, 2018 and June 30th, 2019.
Good afternoon again. This item is related to the audit for the commission, which was performed by the commission's auditor, which is the firm Richardson & Company. And the audits were for the fiscal year ending June of 2018 and June 2019. And these audits were done in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and government auditing standards, some of which are new. The result of the audit was a relatively clean audit, and I think that goes to the work that Karen Liu does with her administrative staff in being stewards of the Commission General Fund and PEG Fund. Because of the hard work that they do, we can have relatively complicated audit come and have just some minor findings. So thanks to Karen and her staff. With that, I will go over quickly the findings. The first findings is related to an accounting system. The Commission uses the county as our treasury, and the current audit, in past audits and in the current audit, our auditor does make some adjustments to accrue expenses and revenues to the fiscal year, which they are attributed to. Also, there are some off-budget accounts like pension liability, for example, where the auditor has to make some adjustments to those accounts as well. These new auditing standards are going to no longer allow the commission auditor to do tasks that might be deemed as bookkeeping or things outside of maybe what now these new requirements are for auditors. So with that, it's going to be necessary for the commission to establish a general ledger system outside of the county system. And with that, and given the amount of staff we have, this is something that we really need to have an outside certified public account to help us with. This finding is that we need to establish a general ledger system, and the management response to the finding is that we will do this, and we plan to retain the services of the CPA, who has been recommended by our auditor to establish and maintain this system. There was another finding on payroll accounts. The auditors noted several payroll liability accounts that were not reconciled as of the dates audited. There was actually a reason for that. There was a changeover in the county's Compass system, and so there were some accounts that were not reconciled, maybe in the time frame that they should have been due to the changeover of that system. This is something that's normally kept up by commission staff. But with that, staff does note the findings and will continue to reconcile in-house logs on a monthly basis. And one other finding was risk assessment and review process. The recommendation is that one should be implemented by having the board consider an agenda item identifying and discussing such risks. And staff's response to that finding is that we will include, along with the board's annual budget meeting, an item on the agenda to discuss potential fraud and risk to the commission. And with that, I recommend the board receive and file the audited financial statements and other reports for the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission for the fiscal years ending June 30th, 2018 and June 30th, 2019.
Thank you, Bob. Are there any comments or statements from the board? Hearing none, I'll open public comment. Clerk, do we have any statements or callers?
No, we do not.
I'll close public comment. And if there's no final statements from the board, I believe this is just a receive and file. So the board will receive and file Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission's audited financial statements and other reports for the fiscal years ended June 30th, 2018 and June 30th, 2019. So we'll go to item number 8. Clerk, can you read this into the record?
Right, item number 8 is your chair and vice chair election for the remainder of the fiscal year 2020 through 21.
Good afternoon again. Typically, a chair and vice chair are elected at the June budget meeting to serve for the following fiscal year. But however, with the departure of Chair Steve Detrick, the board will need to elect a chair and a vice chair for the remainder of fiscal year 2021. So with that, I would serve this item up to the board to elect a chair and a vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I would nominate you, Mr. Hedges, for chair for the remainder of this fiscal year, and then I guess we'll visit that again in June. But you're doing a good job today, and nominate you for chair.
I second. Tim Schaefer.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion by Commissioner Natoli and a second by Commissioner Schaefer to nominate Commissioner Hedges. Clerk, can you please take roll?
Absolutely. Directors Nava?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Natoli?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Spees?
Aye.
Comanchera?
Yes.
Gatewood? Parasit?
Yes.
Polomu?
Yes.
And New. And thank you, your motion passes.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. I'll now ask for a motion to nominate a vice chair for the remainder of the fiscal year. I'll go ahead and nominate Commissioner Schaefer.
I'll second. This is Lisa Nava.
You mean first?
What was that?
First, sorry.
And now we need a second.
Second.
Okay.
Riley.
Are there any other nominations? Then hearing none, I'll go ahead. We have a motion by Commissioner Nava, seconded by Commissioner Riley, to nominate Commissioner Schaefer for the vice chair role. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Nava?
Yes, please.
Riley?
Yes.
McCarthy Olmsted?
Yes.
Hedges?
Yes.
Natoli,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Spies,
Aye.
Comachera,
Yes.
Gatewood, Parasit,
Yes.
Polomu,
Yes.
and Nu. Thank you. Your motion passes.
Thank you, and congratulations, Commissioner Schaefer. Moving to item number 9, clerk, can you read that into the record?
Your number 9 is your calendar year 2021 investment policy for pool investment fund.
Bob, do you have a?
Yeah. It's this is an annual investment policy that the County of Sacramento asks any entity like ours to approve if we invest our funds into the county's treasury pool. And so with that, I recommend that you receive and file the review of the County of Sacramento's 2021 investment policy for the pool investment fund.
Okay, are there any comments or statements by the board? Clerk, do we have any public comment on this item?
No, we do not.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and receive and file the calendar year 2021 investment policy and pooled investment fund. Item number 10, clerk, can you read into the record?
Your item number 10 is your general administration report.
Okay, good afternoon again. Given the time, I'll try to go through this report quickly. The first item is the FCC in-kind proceeding, and this is just to let the board know, just to recap, the FCC several years ago now went through a rulemaking process where they implemented a rule that would allow cable operators in our jurisdiction and elsewhere, of course, in the country, to deduct what are in-kind costs from the franchise fees that they pay. An example would be if they've provided an iNet, for example, they could theoretically deduct the cost of that iNet from the franchise fees. So, and I think the initial rule-making went forward. That is currently being litigated, but there was a second rulemaking that was going to go forward that was even more alarming to the commission. The FCC did not rule on whether cable companies could take deductions for in-kind provision of PEG channel capacity and PEG channels. So, for example, the commission has 7 PEG channels that the cable companies in our jurisdiction provide to us. The potential future rulemaking would allow the cable companies to value those channels that they provide for us, likely coming up with a very large amount and then deducting that from the franchise fees. Well, fortunately for us, that item was to be taken up under a future rulemaking and is not part of the existing rule making that is currently being litigated. So with that, I just want to point out that we are partnering with jurisdictions across the country through our legal firm, Best Krieger, with a coalition that's supporting that litigation, but is also reviewing, reviewing the potential rulemaking coming from the commission. And that coalition is still active and is still reviewing opportunities in legislation, litigation, and regulations that may be coming forward. On top of that, with the changes in Washington, D.C. recently, the threat of a PEG offset appears to have possibly left Washington, D.C. with the recent changes in the executive office and with the FCC. So that's just a short, simple update on this item, but we will, working with Commission Counsel, will continue to watch this item and bring any future matters that we may need to on this item to the Commission. With that, I'll move on to item B. I just want to announce that the Metro Cable hired a technical coordinator. His name's Kevin Benyon. I mentioned him earlier with the help he's been providing to Regional Transit in realizing their control room. Kevin actually used to work for the commission. He was a technical assistant, and then he was promoted to technical coordinator before he left for some other items. But recently, the Cable Commission had the need for a technical coordinator, and Kevin was again available. And so I'm just announcing that Kevin is back on staff, and we are very happy to have him on board again. Item C. I'll just really quickly, Metro Cable operations, the services provided by the Cable Commission and Metro Cable are still our essential services during this pandemic, and that we continue to provide our services, but with trying to keep our employees and especially our production assistants that go to all the meeting locations to help cablecast the meetings that are being provided during this pandemic. So with that, we have a COVID protection plan that we've implemented for our staff, and we've provided training on that plan. We, require social distancing. We are limiting the number of production assistants in a control room for the member agency control rooms that are outside the board chambers to 1. And our full-time staff are teleworking as much as they can. And with a lot of the equipment and a lot of the meetings being cablecast at locations, it is a little bit difficult to allow the teleworking, but we've maximized that to the extent possible. So I just wanted to report the measures that the Commission has been taking for during this pandemic. Item D is a status report of the PEG fee funded projects from the 2021 PEG fee budget. So I'll just quickly go through some things that have been happening at the member agencies related to the PEG equipment requests that we received for this year. Citrus Heights is replacing a fiber transmitter, and they intend on finishing their project in mid-March or April. Elk Grove is done with their project for this year. So they had a project that was a chambers audio improvements, teleconference audio integration, and new video monitors, and that project is done. The City of Folsom, they have equipment is being ordered for a full upgrade for the Folsom's control rooms. Video production camera equipment and editing equipment have already been received, and that project will be fully implemented in a short time frame. The City of Galt has a new interim IT manager, and he is certainly getting up to speed. But the equipment for Galt for the control room and chamber improvements and Zoom integration for meetings to be cablecast during the pandemic, equipment has been ordered and will be worked on in a very short time frame. Rancho Cordova. Final parts have been ordered and will be installed by their AV audio video vendor to allow for streaming encoders to be replaced. Their video encoder and computer graphics titler have already been upgraded, and they also have purchased various iPads and PCs for video teleconferencing use. The City of Sacramento has improvements to their historic hearing room. The control room for the historic hearing room is scheduled to be installed in March. In the Sacramento County, the board chambers touch screens have been replaced, and video teleconference integration has been completed. The hearing rooms, which are outside the board chambers, are scheduled to be upgraded in late April, and will include camera replacement, and an RFP is on the streets for that. And then I mentioned the regional transit control room. So we are all happy to see the regional transit control room being implemented and no longer having to do van shoots for regional transit. And with that, that's an update of of what's going on at the member agencies. And I believe that's all the items I have in my status report for today.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions about the report? Hearing none, we'll go to item number 11, which is our channel licensees report. Clerk, do we have any statements submitted or members of the public who called in?
For item 11,
Yes.
yes, we do. Would you like for me to read them now?
Yes, go ahead and read now, please.
And I'm sorry, Sir Chair, just for the record, there were no public comments for item number 10.
Oh, thank you.
So this first one is on behalf of Gary Martin. It says, "Dear Commissioners and staff, thank you very much for the resolution recognizing me upon my upcoming retirement after nearly 8 years at Access Sacramento. I am pleased and honored by your recognition and appreciation the extra work Bob, Karen, and the staff went through to make this happen. I am also grateful for the Cables Commission's support over my tenure at Access Sacramento. We've completed our transition to high-definition production and, with your help, provided technology advancements that help Sacramento County residents get their voices onto our television channels and cable radio service. The Board of Directors named Donna Giroux as my replacement effective March 22nd. She is currently the Executive Director for Community Access Television in Feather River, Vermont, and Feather River, Vermont, and brings more than a decade of access experience, with years of corporate marketing, advertising, and public relations experience before that. I will remain for 2 weeks after her arrival for training and will facilitate a meeting with SMCTC staff before departing. Recently, we've been working with AT&T after their request to put in a direct feed from Access Sacramento to their UVerse system. That work was completed this week, so AT&T is no longer repurposing the Comcast feed, and our channel should be looking better than ever on UVerse. We thank AT&T for their outreach. During the pandemic, Access Sacramento's programming has remained strong, although our training and equipment use, as might be expected, is down. Our operations have been seriously restricted by the full closure of the Coloma Community Center and of course, by corresponding cancellation of sports and community events that would typically be covered by the Hometown TV and the Game of the Week crew. We look forward to being at full operational levels again as soon as possible. Personally, I'm very much looking forward to more time with my grandkids, but suspect I may not be able to stay away from the HD truck for too long. So you may see me around the Access world again at some level soon. Thank you again for your support of me and of Access Sacramento. Most sincerely, Gary Martin." And then your next comment is from KVIE, is pleased to offer another agreement with Metro Cable to cablecast local programs important to Sacramento County viewers. We value our ongoing partnership. And that concludes your announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. Sir Chair, I have one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one says, "Commissioners and staff, I wanted to personally address the commission during our upcoming transition in leadership as Executive Director Gary Martin has announced his retirement. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we join the Commission in honoring Gary for his many years of exemplary service to public access broadcasting. Certainly, we recognize the greatest honor we can bestow is to continue and build on Gary's legacy of community engagement through excellent locally produced broadcast communication. Our Board of Directors is pleased to welcome Donald Giroux as our new Executive Director on March 22nd, 2021. Our Executive Search Committee, made up our board officers, conducted an expansive national search with experts' direction from Randy Van Dalsen at the Busk Group. After 18 applications, 7 semifinalists, and 3 finalists, Donna was selected for her extensive knowledge, experience, and expertise in the field of public access broadcasting. We believe that Donna will bring strong and effective leadership to the Access Sacramento as we continue to build our brand, provide relevant and diverse local programming, and offer top-notch training to bring more Sacramento County residents' voices to our chorus that is making a difference, one voice at a time. This change also allows me the opportunity to assure the Commission of our continuing commitment to meet and exceed our programming and fiscal responsibilities to SMCTC. It is a commitment that motivates our actions and defines our purpose. We welcome the challenge. Kind regards, Bob Smith, Board Chairman.
And that concludes public comments?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Oh. And I believe we also have a video, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead and play it.
Good
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Rhodes, Executive Director of the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium, and I want to thank you for your continued BestNet support. And I'm going to speak briefly today about two major projects that we're working on, in addition to BestNet and programming our channels and our committee work. The 2021 award night celebration is on and is scheduled for Sunday, April 18th. And I want to invite Nabayo Lemma, who is our Master of Ceremonies, to talk to you a little bit today about that. Nabayo?
Good afternoon. I am personally inviting you to celebrate the 32nd annual SIVA Award Night, a 2021 virtual experience. And this year we had a record-setting 641 entries, which we are currently judging with over 85 volunteer judges, which is another virtual experience. The entries are some of the best we ever had. We will begin the 2-week celebration the week of April 5th, announcing on Cable 16 and YouTube the recipients of the Defining 2020 Awards, a new award recognizing student producers for their creative media productions addressing the challenges of 2020. We hope you can join us for the celebration, and thank you all for all you do for us.
Thank you, Nabayo. So how did we manage to do a record 641 entries during a year when students attended school virtually? Well, the only way we could have done it was through your help with your annual SIVA grant. Here is Trevor Harding. We're bringing him in. He is a SIVA media teacher at Sunrise Elementary School. And I'm going to ask him to share his thoughts with you.
I cannot thank the Cable Commission enough for the equipment that was given to all of the studios and students this year. I talked to a lot of the teachers and students throughout, and we were able to continue our SIVA studios. We were able to continue putting in videos into the SIVA contest, and that was because of your generous donation to us. And not only did we get equipment, we got specific equipment that made it worthwhile and helpful for the students to create these videos. Very specific batteries, and students that didn't have smartphones got some other video equipment as well, cameras, and the students that did have smartphones got ring lights to put their smartphones on. So it was a very detailed list of equipment. I know, talking to a lot of the teachers, it would not have been possible to do what we did this year without your generous help from the Cable Commission and all the hard work from SECC.
Trevor, I also wanted to share with the Commission about the 11 SIVAcons, which are our virtual field trips and trainings for students that we've done over the past 4 months. We have an average of 120 to 300 students participating in each session, and our topics range from a studio tour in North Dakota with Vanessa Gomez, a past SIVA winner who is now an anchor at Dakota News, to an in-depth conversation with Bob Peterson of Pixar. What did you think about the SIVAcons?
So the excitement out there was high. What was really neat was when it was neat to see all the studios together. Normally, I just get to see my own group of kids, but I got to see everybody across the valley. And now I know a lot of the students because of SIVAcon. And we had parents hiding in the background behind students watching SIVAcons as well. When do we get to do that on a normal basis? You know, the parents get to sit in and watch as well. The studio tour was awesome. You could see when we went into the live studio and the students saw the weatherman on the green screen, you would see all the students and SIVAcon's eyes just light up. And all the chat answers inside the chat were just ding, 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 asking questions. So you could tell their excitement was there. To talk to a Pixar animator and voice operator was amazing, you know. So it was really neat to take us outside of our valley and go anywhere around the world, you know, and just to keep the enthusiasm and love for creating videos alive of what was going on in the world, you know.
So I think that, you know, overall we can say that this has been quite a year, and because of SIVA and because of the teamwork between the Cable Commission and SECC and the teachers and parents and students, I think we've been able to be that real silver lining in what is some rather troubled times. So we just want to thank you, the Commission, for all you've done for us, for your continued support, and we are available for virtual tours for you and to answer any questions. And we do appreciate you. Thank you.
And on behalf of all the teachers, students, parents, we thank you greatly for what happened this year for us. Thank you very much.
Are there any comments from the board? And hearing none, we'll go ahead and move to item number 12, the state franchisee reports. Clerk, do we have any statements or callers on this item?
No, we do not.
Okay. Then we'll move on to item number 13, which is general public comments. And I'll go ahead and read the following statement into the record. Members of the audience who called in may comment on any item of interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Commission. Each member will be allowed 3 minutes. No action may be taken on non-agendized items raised under public comment until the matter has been specifically included on a future agenda for discussion and action. If a member of the public wants a response to a specific question, they are encouraged to contact Commission staff or any of the board members. I'll now open public comment. Clerk, is there anybody that's called in or written?
No, there are none in the queue.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment. And we are now adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.